This is my second attempt to make a video about a certain celebrity who is in the news for allegedly committing certain crimes. My first video was removed for violating community standards very unfairly and arbitrarily, I believe. I'm even reluctant to say the person's name, but I think you'll probably figure it out. Just to be clear, this video is for educational purposes. It is not intended to bully or harass or promote hateful organizations or individuals. Almost all of the information that I'm going to present is available in other people's videos on this app and on the internet in general. In fact, most of it is from Wikipedia. I am not the first person to note that this individual has a very fitting surname. He has effectively rebranded himself many times throughout his career as an actor, as a recovering addict, as a writer, as a socio-political pundit, as a spiritual guru, and as a conspiritualist, which is why he's relevant to this channel. The individual in question was born in 1985 in Essex, England. He had a somewhat difficult childhood. He was overweight and was bullied for that. He developed bulimia. He apparently was subjected to SA at the hands of one of his tuners. He developed substance abuse problems, and then he found some salvation in theater. He landed one of his first roles when he was 15. He first achieved fame through the medium of television. He was on several shows and was also a frequent guest on other shows because he was well known for being loquacious, well-spoken, quick-witted, self-deprecating, funny, and open about his addiction problems and his promiscuity. He then branched out into stand-up comedy and then film. He was in a number of fairly successful movies, and then he became a writer. He wrote a book called Revolution and began styling himself a left-wing political pundit and revolutionary, even though he very famously told people that they shouldn't vote. In 2014, he launched a YouTube series called The Truths, which was a look at the news of the day through a left-wing perspective. He was critical of political power and the right wing. He was critical of corporate greed and promoted a certain amount of media literacy. During this period of time, I have to admit that I was sort of a fan of this individual. I appreciated his take on things and his brand of humor, so to speak, but I did notice that he began to slowly slide down the proverbial rabbit hole. This became especially apparent during the pandemic. He effectively became a conspiritualist, began going into COVID nihilism, began talking about the globalist agenda, began demonizing the media, began demonizing people like Gates and Fauci. Indeed, because of some of his questionable ideas and some of his questionable guests on his podcasts, some of his content was flagged and removed for disinformation and so forth. This caused him to double down on his attacks on the media and his paranoia. Eventually, he got fed up and moved his entire podcast to Rumble, which, as many people will know, caters to the far right and the alt-right, and is host to Trump's Truth Social. This individual has long been dogged by allegations of impropriety, and in fact these came together and congealed into print in a recent article in the Sunday Times, which is a popular weekly British newspaper. In that article there were at least 4 women who accused this person of SA. One of them was 16. Since the article, it appears that other women have come forward with similar allegations. In retrospect, it seems like it was probably just a matter of time before these kinds of allegations surfaced for somebody who styled himself a playboy, a bad boy, who was very open about his promiscuity and his sexual addiction and so forth. For the record, this person also studied Kundalini Yoga with a woman named Tej Kaur Khalsa, who studied directly with Yogi Bhajan, who I've covered before, who was a notorious SA person, and Khalsa was an apologist for Yogi Bhajan. Other creators on this app have pointed out that this person has consistently attacked the media. So how convenient is that when, now that he's being faced with these allegations, he can go after the media and accuse them of going on a witch hunt after somebody who is simply trying to expose the truth. But the truth, as we all know, has a way of making itself known, eventually.